Hi everyone, and thank you for visiting my channel. I'm Mooreabea. I am a spiritual mentor, a writer, an intuitive, and channeler. And I am setting the intention of sharing more about my perspectives on life and how I continuously gain more connection with my inner knowing and my inner truth, and how I receive information from beyond my physical vessel, from the ethers, the universal consciousness, and how I can channel that into bringing information into my existence, into my reality. And something that I really wanted to talk to you guys about today is this theme that keeps on coming up in myself, in those that I work with. So of course, naturally, I feel called to share it with everybody else. And this is the idea that around our thoughts creating our reality. This is such a talked about idea and knowing and energetic understanding that our thoughts can create the physical manifestation of what we see in our experience. And the most common thing that's happening right now that I'm really noticing is that we're actually doing the opposite. We're allowing our reality to create our thoughts and our truth, which means that we're seeing a reality in our existence. We're noticing a change in our financial situation, in our relationships, in our connections to ourselves and other people. And we're experiencing these different realities, and from that making conclusions of our truth, rather than having a connection to our inner truth and then projecting that and creating that in our reality. We're kind of doing the opposite. We're allowing our reality to dictate who we are and what our truth is, rather than sitting in our knowing and sitting in our unionized alignment with self to then create a reality that we want to create and to experience. And my reminder to you is to understand that just because you intuitively know something and you are not seeing it in your reality does not make it false, does not make it untrue. We have to remember that the process of manifestation for ourselves and in our consciousness is that we have these thoughts and we have these ideas, and then the universe conspires for us. It conspires with us to create those experiences, which also means that it creates these connections with other people and these realities that we need to experience in order to then receive that of which we intend to experience. So if we set the intention of having a relationship with somebody, having a partnership, and we aren't seeing that in our reality currently, it doesn't make sense to tell ourselves that our truth is false, or that our intuitive understanding of our desire to have a relationship is ridiculous and untrue, because that wouldn't be the case. I mean, you can believe what you want, although I'm here to tell you that your connection to yourself is valid, and the truth and the knowing that you have within yourself is extremely valid and will create the external circumstances for you. So if we have this intention of having a relationship with somebody and we aren't seeing it yet in our reality, we do not then have to make our truth that we don't deserve to have a relationship, that we aren't worthy of a relationship, that we can't have one, or we don't have one. Allow your inner knowing of what you know to be true for you, that you are in a partnership, that you are worthy and you are deserving and you can have these experiences. Allow that inner knowing to then create the external circumstance for you, while also understanding that our manifestations, there's a lot happening energetically right now in our universe with time and space, and I can go into that in another video. currently, we also have to understand, though, that yes, manifestations can happen very rapidly, and they will begin to do so as we continue to move into these different states of being. I want to remind you right now, though, that when we set the intention of getting into a relationship or manifesting and receiving more money, the universe is like, okay, let's conspire together. Let's use the higher self knowledge and your soul to create experiences that allow you to then be in a position to receive that. So yes, one of my, like for example, for me, my intentions around money, right? I've always set intentions of wanting to receive money through my business. And through that, I had to learn and go through circumstances that honestly contrasted that. It was a contrast. It was like, we could say opposite, but in reality, for me, what I understood was that the universe was putting situations into my existence in order for me to learn what I needed to learn to be receptive of money. Because if the universe put me in a position where I was receiving large amounts of money all at once without understanding or going through these lessons beforehand, I wouldn't actually be able to receive it. I wouldn't feel worthy of it. I wouldn't be able to claim that energy within myself in order to feel comfortable in it. I would have been anxious. I would have been in a position where I was trying to get rid of it, and then thus recreating my experience of not being worthy of it and perpetuating that cycle. So all this to say that there's so many things that happen energetically to conspire with you and to support you in your process. And what the universal message is that you are meant to sit in your truth and in your knowing, regardless of what you see externally from yourself. With this, I also would like to say that we can have a knowing and an understanding of certain things that are happening in our reality, especially when it comes to other people. If we intuitively know something about somebody else, we can understand and take that as our truth and our understanding and perception of the situation. We also have to remember that when it comes to somebody else, it is up to them to be really in connection with their truth and in alignment with their understanding and knowing of themselves. So if we have an understanding that this person is feeling a certain way or intuitively know something is going on in their life, in their reality, and they're not in a place to be able to come to that conclusion or that truth of themselves, does not mean that you are wrong in what you're intuiting. It's actually an opportunity for you to better align to yourself without judgment or without projection of somebody else's experience. There's so much I could talk about in this topic, and regardless of the situation, what I want to express to you is that when you're in your essence and your being and your understanding of continuously receiving downloads or visions or hits about what is about to come in for you or what you're meant to experience, whether that's travel, a business, entrepreneurship, anything, a job, a lifestyle, whatever that is for you, sit in that knowing, sit in that truth for yourself, and allow that to take you on the journey to get there. Allow the universe to say, and trust in it to say to you, these are things we want you to experience in order for you to receive that. And allow that to occur. And you don't have to be in a position to look out into your reality and then contradict your own truth within yourself, because that will perpetuate a perceived lack of self-trust or disconnection from self, separation of self and truth of your own knowing. So I will leave that with you. I love you so much. Please feel free to comment what resonated with you or what you're going through. Please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe so that my content can flow to those that it needs to be seen by. You can visit my website, mooreabea.com, where you can book readings, intuitive readings, where I can channel messages for you. We can do energy healing. We can do mentorship, co-creative spaces together where I can help you move through any of the existing life thoughts or controversies that may be coming up for you. And you can also subscribe and purchase a membership where you can receive access to a members only email list where you can come to events and receive discounts for all of the things that I'm doing and sharing. So many things, and I will just say how much I appreciate you and love you very much. You can follow me on any social media at mooreabea, and I will talk to you soon.